Shinji, are you crazy? The press conference starts in 10 minutes. The media releases have all been sent out as planned. And now you're telling me the engagement is off? Who told you to put my marriage into the brand's press release? Jiguang is my brand, not his. The engagement gift from Shun Capital. Shinji, you signed off on that draft last week. The engagement, but it's the biggest sign of stability for Jiguang. Shinji, you're going to call off the engagement? You finally showed up. Shinji Hung, let me tell you, I'm not going through with this wedding. Reason. Reasons, always with the reasons. Are you even going to treat being dumped like a business transaction? I don't want to marry you. It's that simple. Did everyone see that? He and I have never even argued. He treats even arguing like a board meeting. I asked him if he was jealous and he said, emotional fluctuations affect judgment. Gee, no need to explain. You aren't someone's project. Nor are you someone's asset. Xiaolin, why are you backstage? I'm here to pick up my wife. Wife, you two got married? Changing the groom 3 days before the wedding? Yes. Today I'm going to tell all of you who I choose. Doesn't need Shun Capital's approval. Are you sure you want to say this? At the press conference? Right, aren't you all about risk? Then look closely. The biggest risk is that I don't want to live according to your plans anymore. Fine. Fine. Just one word. Fine. You're the head of Jiguang. Once you walk out there, every word you say has to count. Today, I want to announce a personal matter first. My engagement to Shin Jihung is cancelled. The wedding is cancelled. Will the partnership with Shun Capital still continue? Shinji, are you treating a top-tier brand like a reality dating show? This is the company's reputation. Please don't pressure her. She just chose the person who truly loves her. Mr. Xia, can love pay the balance for the fabric? Can it cover the overseas orders? I'm not a capitalist, but I will stand by AG and bear everything. She deserves to be loved passionately. I have already married Xiaolin. Jiguang is still Jiguang. My life will no longer be arranged by anyone through contracts. Shin Jihung, the news is already out. The signing ceremony later. Are you still participating? Cancel the signing ceremony. I've embarrassed you. You can finally yell at me now, right? I won't yell at you. See? You're always like this. Cold as a stone. Qingji, what you did today wasn't an elopement. It was a public restructuring of Jiguang's risk profile. Shinjiheng, in the end, you only care about money. She's in this state, and you don't even have a single word of sympathy? Sympathy can't be written into an investment report. That is my duty. Then go write your report. From now on, my affairs have nothing to do with you. Fine. Shin Jiheng, regarding the follow-up funding. Notify risk management and legal. Suspend the undisbursed funds. The reason? Change in Jiguang's brand image. Instability in core management decision-making. Reevaluate the risk profile. Qingji, do you know what they're writing out there right now? Jiguang's heiress marries on a whim 3 days before the wedding to a trendy young actor. Everything was fine, and a new product launch was turned by you into a scene of marital drama. I just announced my choice of marriage. Jiguang won't be affected. It's already affected. Partners are asking, is Shin Capital still investing? Suppliers are asking about the production line when the upgraded models will arrive. Overseas channels just sent an email. They want to reevaluate the schedule. Don't scare her. A brand, does it really not survive without Shin Capital? Jiguang is a top-tier brand, not an accessory to Shin Jiheng. Mr. Xia, top-tier brands also have to pay bills. Fabric factories, channels, inventory. Which one of these can be paid for with passionate love? Qingji, teacher Qin Yutong spent over 20 years building Jiguang to where it is now. Not so you could turn it into entertainment news in one day. I know. Jiguang is my mother's life's work. You don't need to remind me. Then you should also know. Shin Capital doesn't just invest money. Production line upgrades, overseas showroom digitalization, inventory, it's all driven by Shin Capital. Your engagement to Shen Jiheng was the signal that the market trusted that Jiguang wouldn't fall into chaos. So, I can't even get married like a normal person. I just wanted to make a decision for myself once, and it became a company risk. You're sitting in Qin Yutong's seat. You can't just think of yourself as a little girl who's been wronged. See, they only look at the brand capital and risk. Unlike me, no one sees if you're hurting. When I was little, my mom said, Jiguang's clothes are meant to give women confidence. But now, even who I marry feels like it needs a board vote. You're not being irresponsible. You just want to be yourself first. Teacher Qin, back then she turned 3 sewing machines into a top-tier brand. Wasn't it also because she dared not to listen to others? Qingji, teacher Qin Yutong dared to back then because every one of her accounts was clear. Not by relying on stubbornness. Director Zhuang, you finance people. Do you see everyone as a liability? No. Only when I see someone who will affect cash flow. Like you. Enough. I'll handle today's matters. If Shin Capital really pulls out, I'll find new funding. Qingji, I hope you can do it. But from now on, what all partners look at isn't what you say. It's what Shin Jiheng does. Shin Jiheng Zhiguang. Core management publicly announces marital breakdown and ties it to Xielin's celebrity image. Brand reputation risk has already spilled over. There are 2 undisbursed funds remaining. One for the new production line. One for the overseas showroom. If we continue to disperse, Shin Capital will have to bear the joint market volatility. Qingji might think this is personal retaliation. Investment is not a consolation prize. Suspend disbursement. Start reevaluation. Then the external statement. Shin Capital respects Qingji's personal choice and will also reevaluate the Zhiguang project risk. She can choose. But Shin Capital must also choose. They say I'm making a joke of Zhiguang. Saying my mother's brand is going to be ruined in my hands. Stop looking. People online will only scold you. They won't care how stifled you feel. Stifled? Shin Jiheng wouldn't think I'm stifled. He would only say, I publicly announced today, changing Zhiguang's risk structure. He even takes your pain and turns it into business jargon. It's truly incredibly boring. Do you know the day I tried on my wedding dress? I asked him if it looked good. What was the first thing he said? He said the waistline was slightly tight. It would be uncomfortable to sit down during the toast. That's so Shin Jiheng, isn't it? Others look at whether the bride is beautiful. He looks at whether the parameters are practical. I asked him if he was jealous. He said, emotional fluctuations affect judgment. Xiaolin, I've really had enough. I don't want to spend my whole life living with a risk assessment table. You're not being overly sensitive. Everyone wants to be favored when they marry, not be arranged. Brother Lin, the studio is asking, should we issue a statement tonight? Don't. She's tired enough already. Don't make her a topic of discussion anymore. Qingji, Shin Capitals. News about canceling the signing ceremony has already spread. Partners want us to give a reply tonight. It's Shin Capital again. Is it true that without Shin Jiheng, Zhiguang will close tomorrow? It won't close tomorrow. But the production line upgrade, if it doesn't arrive in 3 months, there might be problems. Director Zhuang, you finance people. Do you always sound like you're demanding a life? When cash flow is cut, it's more accurate than demanding a life. I'll find a way. Financing, collaborations, live streaming. Even if I have to negotiate it myself, I won't let Zhiguang collapse. Qingji, I believe you want to save Zhiguang. But everyone is watching now. Shin Jihung, what's your next move? Then let them watch. Does Jiguang belong to Qin? Or does it belong to Shun? Mr. Shun. Xielin's studio just posted a photo. The caption says, "He will always be by Qinji's side. They're using you and Xielin for comparative marketing." Should we have PR respond? No. Qinji only sees you as cold. But on the day of the wedding dress fitting, you were the one who had the shoes altered. And you were the one who cut down the process, because you were afraid she'd be tired. She doesn't want to hear that right now. Then, do you still want to continue leaving a way out for Jiguang? Leaving a way out doesn't mean continuing to provide funding. Notify finance. Keep historical cooperation data. But suspend any new resources. Yes. People who understand emotions too well usually know how to exploit them. Xielin is live streaming. She isn't just a contract attachment. Many people are scolding her today, calling her willful, saying she doesn't understand business. But I just want to ask one thing. She's a person, not a contract attachment. Who she marries shouldn't need approval from capital. He's emphasizing the word capital too much. He's clearly trying to manipulate netizens into attacking the Shin family. Keep watching. I know I'm not as rich as Mr. Shin, and I don't have the Shin family's capital background. But I love Eiji. Not Jiguang's shares. Not the resources behind her. I just want her. I just want her. Brother Lin, the brand side says, this might affect business. Then let it affect it. Eiji's grievances today are more important than business. Shameless. He's selling his devotion while keeping his own hands clean. If something happens to Jiguang later, netizens will only think he was standing by Qinji's side. That's all he's good for, lip service. Should we respond? At least clarify the investment relationship between the Shun family and Jiguang. No need to argue on a live stream. Tomorrow at 9 a.m., we'll hold an emergency board meeting. What's the agenda? Reevaluating Jiguang's project risks, Xielin's personal reputation, Qinji's management stability, and brand public opinion. Include all of it. Qinji will think you're taking revenge. She can think that. But the board can't act on it. Mr. Shun, Jiguang is a key project. If we suddenly pause funding, won't the outside world interpret it as your personal feelings? Personal feelings don't go into the agenda. Today we only discuss project risks. First, Qinji is Jiguang's core manager, got married publicly 3 days before the wedding, causing the brand image and management expectations to change simultaneously. Second, Xia Lin's personal public opinion is complex, and he's deeply tied to Zhi Guang. Third, last night's live stream pushed Shen Capital into an adversarial position. Future PR costs are uncontrollable. Zhi Guang still has 2 tranches of unpaid funds. One for production line upgrades, one for overseas showrooms. If we continue to pay, the Shen family will bear the added risk. I suggest suspending the unpaid funds and withdrawing new channel support. Keep historical cooperation data. What if Qin Ji comes to you? After all, you two almost got married. Almost getting married doesn't mean the Shen family has to bail her out. According to the agreement, if core management experiences major public opinion issues and decision-making changes, the Shen family has the right to initiate a risk reevaluation. The process is compliant. It's just that the market will say the Shen family is heartless. The market will also watch how we protect shareholder interests. If we keep investing, that's dereliction of duty. Let's vote now. Those in favor of suspending Zhi Guang's subsequent funding, withdrawing production line upgrade funds, terminating new channel support, and initiating a 30-day risk reevaluation, please raise your hands. Mr. Shen, the board's decision is passed unanimously. Good. Meeting adjourned. The external statement should only mention project risk reevaluation. Do not mention personal relationships. The upgrade payment for the new production line hasn't arrived, and we can't pay the final equipment balance. If we delay another week, the autumn haute couture line will have to be pushed back. Miss Qin, we've worked together for so many years. We trusted Zhi Guang's credit, and we trusted the Shen family's backing. Now that the Shen family has suspended funding, we can't keep covering the costs. I will find a way to make up for it. Please believe me. Zhi Guang won't default on its debts. But Miss Qin, the cash on hand can only cover employee salaries and part of the fabric balance. The production line funding gap is huge. We can't just make empty promises. Supervisor Zhuang, are you Zhi Guang's employee? Or are you a mole for the Shen family? Why does every word you say sound like you're pouring cold water on Eiji? Shen Jiheng withdrawing capital, isn't that just trying to force her to come back? The reason for his withdrawal is written very clearly. Project risk reevaluation. Listen to how decent that sounds. He corners someone and still wraps the knife in flowers. Miss Qin, partners are already asking if Mr. Xia Lin will be fully involved in brand decision-making. Everyone is worried that Zhi Guang will turn into celebrity merchandise. Miss Qin, I don't care about your personal affairs, but within 3 days, if there's no payment plan, we'll have to stop supplying. I'm not trying to interfere. I just feel bad for Eiji. She's carrying so much on her own. And you're still using the Shen family to pressure her. Ms. Qin, stabilize the partners. Tell them Zhi Guang will provide a clear schedule. Help me contact all the investors we can reach. Okay, I'll go right away. Xi, don't be afraid. Shen Jiheng is just waiting for you to bow your head. The more you panic, the more he thinks he's won. I won't bow my head. Zhi Guang isn't going to die without him. It's not the past anymore. We don't need that era of just watching fashion shows. Zhi Guang needs to be youthful, needs emotional resonance. My 30 million followers are the best startup capital. Mr. Xia, follower heat can bring exposure. But inventory, shipping, and after-sales service must keep up. Our production line isn't stable right now. We can't promise too much. Let's build the momentum first. Once the people come, the money will naturally follow. Then let me ask you, can followers directly pay the suppliers' bills? Supervisor Zhuang, you can't use financial thinking to limit creativity. I'm not limiting creativity. I'm reminding everyone. This morning, 2 suppliers already demanded shorter payment terms. No matter how lively the live stream sales are, only after the 7-day no-reason return period will we know if the cash has actually come in, and exactly how much. Zhuang Wenbai, stop pouring cold water for a second. Zhiguang needs volume right now. Miss Qin, volume isn't revenue. Trending topics aren't cash flow. But without volume, who will see Zhiguang? Once Shen Jiheng withdraws capital, you're too afraid to do anything. Isn't that even better? Doesn't that play right into his hands? Then let's do as Xielin says. Start a live stream tonight to warm up the youth line, but all presale scripts must be approved. Brand department, you cannot promise deliveries that exceed our production capacity. Okay. I'll listen to you. I want access to the live stream data backend to see real-time sales, refunds, and inventory. Supervisor Zhuang, are you going to check the accounts one by one? Even for the traffic I brought in? The traffic isn't my concern, but the accounts are my responsibility. The Expo Online peak reached 870,000 last night. It looks popular, but less than 1 million has been paid. Refund requests have already exceeded 30%. After deducting ad spend, gifts, and platform fees, the net return is less than 300,000. The fabric payment gap is 8 million. The balance for production equipment is 22 million. This return isn't even enough to cover the interest on the supplier's debts. At least it proves that some people have seen Zhiguang. When Shen Jiheng withdrew his capital, this is what he meant. The hype will rise first, but the cash flow will collapse first. One moment, when will the investors arrive? They're already at the door. Qin, let's get straight to the point. Zhiguang has a solid foundation. We acknowledge that. But with the Shen family suspending funding and the trial broadcast returns being less than ideal, the market is worried about your capital chain. That's why we're opening up a new round of financing. With Xielin's traffic support for the youth line, the official livestream will be more stable. We've seen the buzz. The question is, can that buzz be converted into stable sales? Also, will Mr. Xielin's personal image continue to be tied to Zhiguang? Xielin is my husband and a partner for the brand's youth line. That makes it even more complicated. We were willing to invest in Zhiguang before because of Professor Qin Yutong's brand credibility and because Shen Capital was backing it. Now that the Shen family has taken a step back, we don't dare to rush in. The Shen family isn't the only path for Zhiguang. Of course. It's just that we need to observe further. Come back when you can show real returns and stable delivery. Qin, should we contact Professor Qin Yutong first? No need. My mother handed Zhiguang to me. Not so that whenever there's a problem, I just cry and go to her. Then let's solve today's problems first. Production line delays, overseas orders, and supplier payment terms. None of these can be delayed. Keep scheduling meetings. As long as someone is willing to see me, I'll talk to them one by one. Su. I've already contacted everyone I could. They all say the same thing. They want to wait and see, or see what the Shen family's next move is before deciding. Qin. Miss Qin, please register your visitor information. Mr. Shen is in a project meeting right now. I have to register to see Shen Jiheng? All external meetings today require an appointment. Ji, do you see? He's doing this on purpose to embarrass you. Su. Let's just register. Any emotional outburst right now will be taken as proof of Jiguang's unstable management. Miss Qin, Mr. Shun, please go in. I didn't need an appointment to come to Shin Capital before. That was a personal relationship. This is a project meeting. The status has changed, so the process must change too. The investors are all waiting and seeing, and the suppliers are demanding payment. If the Shin family just shows some support, they won't shut the door on us. Can't you help stabilize the situation at Jiguang first? Any statement from the Shun family will be interpreted by the market as continued endorsement. Jiguang's supply chain, public opinion, and management decisions are all unstable. I cannot use the Shun family's credit to cover unknown risks. When it comes down to it, you just don't want to help us in our time of need. Ji. Ji isn't asking for charity. She just wants Jiguang to catch its breath. Is it necessary to be so ruthless? In business decisions, there is no such thing as helping in a time of need. There is only risk, return, and the scope of responsibility. Jiguang's risks cannot be transferred to Shun Capital's shareholders. Ji, do you really have no feelings at all? At the investment committee meeting, Shin Capital only looks at data, contracts, and performance capabilities. We don't look at feelings. If Jiguang is willing to give up priority returns on the youth line, add a buyback clause, and open up a board seat, could the Shun family resume some of the investment? These conditions would be valuable if the brand were stable. But right now, Jiguang's public image is tied to Xiaolin. The supply chain is broken, and internal decisions have been consistently wrong. These terms can only reduce losses. They cannot change the risk. Are you saying Jiguang isn't worth that much anymore? I'm saying that's how the market will calculate it. And Shin Capital must calculate it that way too. Fine, then I'll go back and make Jiguang valuable again. It won't collapse in my hands, and it won't rely on your word alone to survive. Qin, I'll keep looking for investors. But is tonight's live stream really still worth doing? Yes. At least it's the only way to get cash back right now. The number of online viewers has broken 1 million. Search volume for the youth line is also rising. Ji chose this one herself. She said, Jiguang has never been a high and mighty brand. It's a brand that can accompany everyone to love and to strive. Ji Linji is in trouble. What kind of trouble? Someone dug up an old recording of Linji saying that back then, he relied on his ex-wife's money to pay off debts and played the victim during the divorce. The topic is already trending. What is this? Old rumors. Someone sees that I'm doing well now and wants to smear me on purpose. Qin, the brand collaboration partner, just messaged, demanding we pause tonight's secondary promotion. They're worried about the negative publicity spilling over. Then suppress the buzz first. Xiaolin isn't your team the best at handling these things? We can suppress it, but it will take time.
Linny,
should you issue a victim statement first? We can't just issue that. Jiguang sells brand credibility. Before we verify everything, any statement could backfire. Director Zhuang, are you doubting me now? I'm doubting anyone who might affect Jiguang's cash flow. Qin, the live stream is still running. If we don't handle this, all the new products tonight will be affected by this trending topic. Cut to the brand short film first. Pause the live stream for 10 minutes. Xiaolin, I want a full explanation from your team. Zhuang Wenbai, I'll handle the collaboration partners. You'll believe me, right? I need the truth more than anything right now. I didn't scam that money. Her family wanted to invest in my studio back then. Later, the project fell through, and she wasn't willing to accept it, so she turned around and accused me of marriage fraud and theft. Is it really just that? Ji, I love you so much. Don't you even believe my words anymore? Fine, I'll figure out the funding. But Xiaolin, you'd better not hide anything else. Don't worry. How could I ever bear to deceive you? Last night, the live stream had over 1 million viewers. Search volume for the youth line tripled. This shows that Zhiguang isn't lacking a market. It was just too conservative before. What are the sales? How much has been paid? Throw the most naked business metrics at the meeting. After deducting refunds, what is the estimated actual return? We can't just look at short-term returns now. We need to look at brand awareness. Everyone, broaden your perspective. I can broaden my perspective. But can the supplier payment terms be extended? Can the factory start production for free? Just because you're number 1 on the trending list? Orders were high last night, but refund requests were also high. Some orders came from impulse purchases by fans, so the conversion quality is unstable. After deducting ad spend and platform fees, the net return isn't enough to cover the fabric payment gap. The fan economy is like this in the beginning. Build the hype first, then build the audience base. You can't use old-fashioned views to look at new channels. Equipment payment, 22 million. Fabric gap, 8 million. If overseas orders are delayed further, we'll have to pay breach of contract penalties. How are we supposed to keep the business afloat? Should we pay suppliers with trending topics? Mr. Xia, are you a brand partner? Or Qin Ji's husband? Standing here today, can you take responsibility for these losses? Of course I'll help Xi take responsibility. Helping isn't the same as paying. Xinjiheng, when he warned us about management risks, we thought he was overreacting. Now one by one, everything he said has come true. Enough. I approved the youth line plan. I will take responsibility for the issues. Zhuang Wenbai within 3 days. Provide a revised plan for the live streaming channels. The brand department must immediately cancel all commitments that lack production capacity guarantees. Understood. Zhiguang will give everyone an explanation. But I also ask you to believe. I have no intention of running away. Qinji, we don't care if you run away or not. We care if the company can survive. Onsu, you've known my mother for over 20 years. Zhiguang is just experiencing a temporary cash flow issue. I won't let this brand go under. Little Xi, of course I believe you want to save Zhiguang. But investment isn't about nostalgia. Now that the Shen family has suspended funding, and Xiaolin is caught in negative publicity, everyone outside is watching to see if you can hold it together and sue those rumors. Or someone trying to smear me on purpose. Zhiguang right now really needs an old friend to lend a hand. If you step in, the public will naturally regain confidence. Mr. Xia, confidence isn't something you can just shout into existence. Back when she built Yutong and Zhiguang up, it was because in every crisis, she knew to stabilize the internal team first before talking about expansion. Onsu, If you're willing, we can open up our production lines first for short-term guaranteed cooperation. I'm not asking you to invest in equity directly. I'll have my team look at the documents. But little Ji, until Shun Jiheng's next move is clear, I cannot be the first one to step forward, so you're just watching the Shun family too. Your mother's legacy, your aesthetics, Yelin's popularity, none of that can replace stability, little Ji. If you still want Shin Jiheng to speak up for you now, then others will only be more certain that Jiguang has no new source of stability. They say they believe in you, but in reality, they're all waiting for Shin Jiheng's nod. A woman in this life has to gamble on herself once. Otherwise, you'll only ever be at their mercy. I will prove that Jiguang isn't just surviving on a marriage contract.
Onsu.
If we release this statement tomorrow, public opinion will shift to our side. The headline could be, "The newlywed wife abandoned by capital." We'll write that the Shun family's withdrawal is a personal vendetta. This isn't the truth. Does the truth even matter? The public just needs an emotional outlet. Shin Jiheng's withdrawal is real, and Ji being hurt is also real. You want me to publicly say he's retaliating against Jiguang because of our marriage? Ji, this isn't lying. It's expressing your grievances. If you don't cry out in pain, who will know you're hurting? Qingji. Once that's released, the Shun family will use the agreement and board minutes to refute it. By then, Jiguang won't just fail to be a victim, it will completely lose its brand credibility. Director Zhuang, can you stop siding with Shin Jiheng every time? I have always been on Jiguang's side. Shin Jiheng, are you sure you want to be this ruthless? The Shun family has only suspended new funding and channel support, not clawing back what's already been invested. According to the agreement, if there's a major change in core management or brand public sentiment, the project must be reevaluated. Can't you show any shred of mercy? Qingji, if this is about reminiscing, we can do it another day. But right now we are discussing a project. The Shun family will not adjust its judgment based on any personal relationships, nor will we make exceptions for anyone. Tomorrow, I let everyone know that the reason Jiguang has reached this point is entirely because of the Shun family's malicious suppression and retaliation. The Shun family has I suggest you be cautious. The Shun family has complete minutes, agreements, and risk assessments. Once Jiguang frames the withdrawal as personal retaliation, the entire brand will likely turn from an operational crisis into a crisis of integrity. And this kind of self-destruction is irreparable. Shin Jiheng, do you know why I originally called off the wedding and chose Xiaolin? Discussing that now is meaningless. You're still the same. I hate that about you the most. You always talk as if you're reading meeting minutes, calculating everything down to the last detail. Qingji, this isn't the right time for this. If Jiguang doesn't have a new risk management plan, I don't think there's any need to continue this conversation. We won't release it. He's the one pushing you to this point, and you still want to save face for him? I can beg for help. I can lower my head. But he's right. I can't turn Jiguang into a lie. If I release a fake statement today, who will believe in Jiguang's fabric craftsmanship and promises tomorrow? Fine. I just feel bad for you. Then, what about the suppliers? I'll go negotiate the payment terms. Whatever I have to face, I'll find a way to face it. Jiguang's public sentiment is declining, but the brand's foundation is still there. The core design team is stable, and the production line upgrade is halfway done. If we take over and restructure at a low valuation, the costs are controllable. The biggest risk is the management rights. The Qin family's decision-making is currently wavering, and Xiaolin is interfering with marketing. Continuing the partnership is riskier than a direct acquisition. Shen discussing an acquisition at this stage. People will inevitably say you're taking advantage of them. To put it more bluntly, they'll say you're acting on personal emotions. Then look at the data. First, the Jiguang brand value is still higher than market expectations. Second, the production line is half idle, creating a price window. Third, review the previously invested capital, channels and systems. We can't let a project we've nurtured be handed over to competitors. Qinji is still looking for investors and hasn't accepted a merger yet. So this is just a backup plan. Don't force the price. What if Qinji approaches you privately? Once we enter the project team, all contact with Jiguang must follow protocol. You're still trying to leave him a way out? Clear boundaries are the best way out. I'm not doing it for him. I'm doing it for Jiguang. This brand shouldn't be dragged down by emotional traffic. Then we can start with the bottom line, the offer and the restructuring plan. Make 3 versions. Protect the brand, the production line, and the core team. The Qin family's management rights should be listed as a separate risk item. What about Xiaolin? List him as an external public opinion variable, not part of the management structure. The machines have been stopped for 2 days. If they keep stopping like this, will we get paid on time this month? Quiet Qinji is coming. Qin, it's not that we don't want to work. It's that we're afraid if we finish half the order, the materials won't follow, and our wages will be delayed. Qinji, the internet says Jiguang is failing. Is that true? It's not true. Jiguang is facing financial pressure, but we won't delay employee wages. And we won't let everyone work for nothing. Qinji sold a piece of private jewelry to cover part of the fabric balance. We'll handle the rest with new payment terms. Qin, once this payment arrives, we can start restoring part of the supply. But don't make any more empty promises. From now on, all promises must follow Zhuang Wenbai's accounting. Qin He. Teacher Qin used to come to the workshop often. He said, the clothes aren't just that 1 minute on the runway. They are made by us stitch by stitch. I know. I just didn't understand it well enough before. Then let's resume small batch production today. Don't go full speed, take it steady. You did the right thing today. But this only patches one hole. Running a business isn't about acting out of spite. It's about balancing the books every single day. I used to complain that Shen Jiheng was too rigid with the numbers. If the accounts aren't clear, the brand won't survive. Ji Guang's public reputation is poor right now. Just follow the director's arrangements. Some shareholders want to sell at a low price. Are you sure you want to take it? Only when it's low can you make a profit. Shen Jiheng definitely won't just leave Ji Guang alone. He still loves Zexi. He'll take over sooner or later. Lenji, does Qin He know about this? What if he asks? He's busy saving the company right now. He doesn't have time to check these things. Let's wait until I get the shares. It's just helping him stabilize the shareholders. That should be enough, right? So you're planning to buy low? And wait for the Shen family to buy you out at a high price? Someone like Shen Jiheng. Even if he says investment isn't a marriage contract. Once Ji Guang really can't hold on, he will definitely step in. The calmer he is, the more it shows he can't let go. But if the Shen family forces a low-price acquisition, you might get trapped too. He won't let AG lose too badly. When the time comes, I'll hold the shares. If he wants to protect Ji Guang, he'll have to protect me too. Tell him I'm meeting with brand partners, trying to find a way for him. Does that count as a partner? Anyone who can make money counts. Miss Qin, I'm Tang Jingshu, Xielin's ex-wife. I'm here to warn you not to trust him too much. Don't trust him too much. You've got the wrong person. I don't want to get involved in your past. I don't want to get involved with you either. But he's tied to Ji Guang now. If you continue to let him interfere, the company will definitely be dragged down by him. Were those recordings online released by you? If I had released them, it wouldn't just be recordings. Miss Qin, what he's best at isn't loving someone, but making others believe he loves them.
Tang Jingsu.
How much longer are you going to cause trouble? I've already started over. Why do you insist on destroying me? Me? I'm destroying you? Who took my money to pay off debts back then? And then told the media I was a gold digger? Do you see? He's always like this. As soon as I'm doing a little better, he shows up. Xielin. Is the money thing true? You doubt me too? I stayed with you until so late last night and went to negotiate resources first thing this morning. As soon as he appears, you believe him. You don't have to believe me, but at least don't just listen to his side of the story. Open it when you want to see the truth. I'll look at it myself. What does this mean? Why is the traffic from the Jiguang livestream being redirected to Xielin's personal fan meeting registration page? Xielin's team says it's a joint event to increase fan engagement. We thought you knew. This is a traffic strategy. Fans connect with me first, then come back to Jiguang. A longer path doesn't mean it has no value. The traffic that jumped from the Jiguang account last night, 40% didn't come back. Xielin's personal business appointments are up, but Jiguang's orders haven't increased. And here, the Jiguang new product poster was changed to your solo visual. The clothes are barely visible. Why are you all so short-sighted? Whoever has the buzz now is the winner. I'm helping Jiguang break into the mainstream. You're using Jiguang's account to drive traffic to yourself. Why didn't you tell me in advance? Would you have understood if I told you? You brand people are still stuck on the old ways of runway shows and fabric quality. This is the era of traffic. Stitch by stitch. Jiguang is not your fan club. I'm getting attacked online to help you. And now you're blaming me? If you want to help, respect Jiguang first. Starting tonight, all official account access is revoked. The brand department will review everything. Ji, you'll regret this. Without my buzz, how will you prove yourself to Shin Jiheng? I'll prove it with Jiguang itself. The Qinhe backend prediction model is offline. The inventory numbers across channels don't match. The shipping orders are stuck too. Yesterday's live stream. The remaining orders haven't been reconciled. If we ship incorrectly today, returns will keep rising. Qinhe Shun's technical service. The contract expires at midnight today. The historical data interface, documentation, and backup packages have been handed over. Subsequent inventory forecasting, order reconciliation, channel analysis, and return warnings, we will no longer provide support. Can't you delay it for a few days? We can sign a short-term service extension. Fees will follow your standards. Sorry, the project team received notice. To terminate service according to the contract, we only do historical data handover. Aren't they just a few back-end tools? If you leave, Jiguang can find a team to do it themselves. Don't make it sound like a clothing brand. Can't survive without you. It's not just a few tools. If the inventory forecast is wrong, production scheduling will be wrong. If orders don't match, payments won't match. Without return warnings, cash flow pressure will only explode at the very last moment. That's because you rely too much on Shins. Old employees collecting salaries can't even reconcile a spreadsheet. Mr. Xia, system permissions. Channel interface data standards. Used to be maintained by Shans uniformly. We can reconcile a single sheet, but we can't restore the model out of thin air. Before, every time Shin Jiheng asked about inventory, payment terms, and fulfillment, I complained that he was cold, complained that he talked about clothes like a machine. Turns out, if the machine really stops, Jiguang will fall into such chaos. Stop arguing for now. Zhuang Wen by brand department, take all the promotional delivery times in the scripts and reconcile them again during live streams. Don't go promising things we can't deliver. I'll go prioritize them now. But manpower will be stretched thin. It's very likely to be late. Even if it's late, it must be accurate. Shin Jihung is doing this on purpose. Contract expiration isn't on purpose. Our current chaos is a gap in management capability. Complaining won't help. After the Shin technical team withdrew, Jiguang's back-end stability dropped very quickly. From yesterday to today, manual processing slowed down shipping. Channel ratings have already started to fluctuate. The brand value is still there, but the restructuring cost needs to be adjusted up. After we take over, we need to rebuild the data center, sort out supplier terms, and appease the core designers. This price is 20% lower than last week. Won't people say Shuns is taking advantage of the situation? The lower quote reflects higher risk. Operational loss after technical withdrawal, reputation depreciation, debt assumption, and team stabilization costs all need to be reflected in the price. But the Qin and Shun families have had a friendship for many years and have helped Shuns quite a bit. Qin Zitong, can you show some mercy? Don't push too hard. Mercy isn't something you can write into an acquisition agreement. The Shin Group can preserve the Jiguang brand, keep the production lines in the core team, but we cannot ignore Qinji's decision-making errors. Jiguang is still manually reconciling orders today. Qin hasn't contacted you again? Xielin's team is spreading rumors outside. Who? They're saying the Shun Group's vehicle system is forcing Jiguang to bow down. They want to frame the contract issues as a personal vendetta. Have legal and PR prepare a response. Only state the contract expiration and handover records. Do not argue about personal matters. What about the acquisition plan? Continue to push for a low-valuation acquisition. How should we handle the Qin family's management rights? The Qin family will retain a brand consultant seat, but will no longer hold actual operational control. Keep Zhuang Wenbai's core production team if possible. Strip away all resources related to Xiaolin. The Qin family keeps a consultant seat. Will that continue to influence operational decisions? The public might mistakenly believe that management control is still in Qin Jijia's hands. The consultant seat is only responsible for brand history and design heritage. They will not participate in budget, personnel, or distribution. The Shun Group is taking over Jiguang to save the brand, the production lines, and the core team. We will not bail out any personal relationships. Connect the video call with Qinji. They just finished reading today's public opinion report. Qinji, we've decided to pause the second round of traffic promotion. We need to reevaluate whether to continue with the co-branded items. We need to reevaluate. The first batch of samples has been confirmed. Jiguang is also scheduling production as planned. Pausing now will cause losses for both sides. We will calculate the losses according to the contract. But Mr. Xielin's negative publicity is already tied to Jiguang. We cannot let the co-branded project continue to be dragged into the comments section. Lun Yan, you can't just look at the negatives. The high level of discussion right now means the market's attention is on Jiguang. Bad publicity is still publicity. We can't waste this traffic window. Mr. Xia, we are selling clothing, not a crisis PR course. Stop the co-branded traffic promotion. Expect the payments to be delayed further. As for the suppliers, if there is no new payment plan by tomorrow morning, they will continue to pressure us. The comments section is no longer just attacking Xiaolin. Many people are questioning Jiguang's judgment in choosing partners and our delivery capability. Ji, don't carry this alone. They're all waiting to see you make a fool of yourself. I can go find Shin Jihung for you. Why would you go find him? I'll beg him to lend us the technical team back. I don't care if he humiliates me. Mr. Xia, the Shin Group has made it clear. All contact must go through the project process. You going there alone might not be useful. Producer Zhuang, but I am Aji's. Don't you believe me? I can't just watch him be pushed to this point and just stand by and calculate spreadsheets. I've wronged you. I'm not wronged. I'm just afraid you won't be able to hold on. Contact the Shun Group's front desk now. Tell them I'm coming tomorrow morning, with a plan to turn around Jiguang's traffic. I want to see Shen Jiheng himself. Acting skills. President Shun Xielin has been waiting outside for 2 hours. Should I keep him waiting? No need, let him in. Mr. Xia, President Shun, has a project meeting in 15 minutes. Don't worry, I won't take long. President Shun, AG is really struggling right now. Once your technical team pulled out, Jiguang's backend fell into chaos. The technical service ended as per the contract expiration. The historical data and interface documentation have been handed over. This issue was already addressed by the Shun Group to the Jiguang project team. In a written statement yesterday, contracts are rigid, but people are flexible. You and AG have known each other for so many years. Do you really have to do this without leaving any room for maneuver? Mr. Xia, are you very close with the Shun Group? I am AG's husband now. That doesn't constitute a project relationship between the Shun Group and Jiguang. We only recognize contract authorization and board resolutions. Then let's talk about the project. I have 30 million followers. Jiguang's discussion level is high right now. As long as the Shun Group's technical team comes back to help us stabilize inventory and shipping, I can turn this bad publicity into sales. Bad publicity is not an asset. It's a risk, especially when the source of the negativity is you yourself. It erodes brand trust. Instead of increasing brand value, you capitalists, aren't you being too conservative? The current market is the era of traffic. Without buzz, who still looks at those valuation models? Valuation models at least ask 3 questions. First, can traffic be converted into real revenue? Second, can the revenue cover the fulfillment costs? Third, will public opinion cause partners to withdraw? Jiguang's recent results have already provided the answer. President Shun, I didn't come here today for myself. Aji has already lowered her head. She's just too embarrassed to come see you herself. Mr. Qin, if there are formal requests, they can be submitted through the Jiguang project team. You are not on the Shun Group's contact list. So what am I in your eyes? In the Shun Group's risk report, you are an external public opinion variable and a brand asset with a high risk of loss. Mr. Xia, time is up. The Shun Group will not resume technical services. Please let an authorized representative handle the contact with the Shun Group. Can you really just watch her lose? Mr. Xia, please. How did it go? What did Shen Jiheng say? What else could he say? He put on airs and said, I'm not on the contact list. He just wants to wait for you to beg him personally. The Shun Group said before, they only follow the project process. Process. What else can you say besides process? What Jiguang needs now is cash, not meeting minutes. This is a new presale plan. A 3-day limited presale. Make Xielin's signature items and Jiguang limited gift boxes. Get the cash back first, then schedule production based on popularity. No matter how much they argue in the comments, they can't stop the fans from ordering. The equipment isn't fully running yet, and we only have enough fabric for small batches. If we open a large presale, the delivery cycle will be impossible to manage. Get the money in first. We can coordinate later. Without cash, how can we talk about delivery? Presale isn't creating money out of thin air. It's selling future delivery pressure in advance. Our production capacity is unstable, the return rate is high, and our channel rating is dropping. Large-scale pre-sales are just burying a time bomb for later. You don't mean to tell me you're still following Shen Zhiheng's rules? He isn't helping you. Why are you still living by his algorithm? It's not his rules. It's Zhiguang's credibility. What do you mean? 100,000 units is impossible. Without production capacity guarantees, we can't make a single promise. We can sell what's in stock and pre-sell small batches where we have confirmed fabric and timeline. Everything else must be cut. Everything else must be cut. Then I'll change the promotional copy to focus on in-stock items and small batch pre-orders.
No exaggerated countdowns.
This way we can control shipping and at least avoid another wave of complaints. Do you know how much cash we'll lose? Qingji, are you still trying to save face? I've already lost my face. But Zhiguang cannot rely on deceiving the next batch of customers to fill the holes left by the previous ones. Fine. You keep holding on to your bottom line and see if that bottom line can pay the suppliers. We can't wait any longer. Shun's has stopped the joint technical project. Suppliers are cutting off supply. Qin, do you have a plan or not? I already went to Shun's yesterday. Shen Zhiheng is deliberately blocking us. He's just trying to force Aji to give in. Mr. Xia, that's not the case. Mom, I'll be back 2 days later than planned. Are you planning to turn Zhiguang into a branch of Xielin's studio? How many days can the cash flow last? According to the current payment schedule, we can cover wages, but the fabric payments can only last 3 days. The major pre-sales were suppressed by Qingji, so the risk of subsequent complaints is controllable, but the cash pressure remains. What about production capacity? We can ship existing stock and schedule small batch pre-sales, but large-scale production is impossible. Equipment and fabric can't keep up. Change all promotions to in-stock and confirm delivery dates. Any words implying uncertain delivery must not be used at all. Understood, Auntie Qin. Everyone outside is bad-mouthing Zhiguang right now. You can't just look at production capacity. My traffic can still be used. As long as we capitalize on the trending topics, the cash will come back. Mr. Xia, at my conference table. State your position first, then give your opinion. Which department do you represent? I am Aji's husband. Then sit down. Don't speak on behalf of the company. Qingji is back. Of course we respect that. But Zhiguang right now can't be saved by just saying respect. Core designers are already looking for other options. Suppliers don't trust me either. You've worked with me for 8 years. If you want to leave now, I won't stop you. But if you're willing to stay, within 3 days, I will personally oversee the suppliers and factories. We'll prioritize the core autumn collection, so the team's hard work doesn't go to waste. Teacher Qin, I'll stay. But the team needs a clear plan. Suspend expansion of the youth line. Cut all visuals that are strongly tied to Xielin's personal traffic. For the core collection, return to Zhiguang's original patterns, fabrics, and craftsmanship. Schedule production based on deliverable quantities. Don't chase unrealistic numbers. First the accounts, then capacity, then the people. So this is how to save the company. Starting today, you'll follow me to deal with suppliers and investors. Stop hiding in the office, waiting for others to clean up after you. I understand. I'm not asking you all to invest money directly today. Regarding the suppliers, we'll pay off a portion of the key fabric costs first, in exchange for 30-day payment terms. For distribution channels, we'll restore the core collection first, without using any visuals related to Xielin. Teacher Qin, since you're back personally, we're certainly willing to give you some face. But Zhiguang's current cash flow is unstable. If we increase supply, our own accounts will be tied up too. We're in the same boat. We approve of the core collection. But if you search for Jiguang in the comments now, it's all about Xiaolin and shipping issues. Channels are afraid to be the first to resume major promotions. What if I withdraw from the youth line decision-making and only keep the core line? I can put all delivery milestones into a supplementary agreement. Little G, the problem isn't whether you're willing to sign it. It's whether the market still trusts us. Shun's has put Jiguang under review, and the technical support has been withdrawn on schedule. What everyone sees is the same risk signal. If the supplier payment terms can be extended by 30 days, Jiguang can prioritize paying wages and some final payments will stabilize and stop expanding, just to ensure we don't run out of stock. I can hold on to the raw materials at most and not resell them to others. But until the next payment is received, I can't ship any new materials. The core collection can stay listed, but resource placement must be paused until Shun's makes their next move clear or a new stable investor comes in. Then we'll talk. Understood. The fact that you all sat down to listen to me today is already out of old friendship. Yutong, it's not that we don't want to help you. Whoever enters the market first now has to pay for the risks incurred earlier. I understand. Mom. I'm sorry. I thought as long as I was willing to lower my head, someone would do it for your sake and give Jiguang a hand. Face can't buy cash and old feelings. Can't bear the risks for others. You shattered the signal of stability with your own hands. Now, of course, others are waiting for a new signal. Is the new signal Shin's? In the current situation, not many people dare to take on Jiguang. Shin Jiheng is the one who knows Jiguang's value best, and also the one who knows the risks best. But he won't, because I was soft-hearted. Then don't use yourself to negotiate. I'll go with you to see him tomorrow. We'll talk about Jiguang, the debts, and the team. As for the card of old friendship, you no longer have the right to play it recklessly. Cheng. Today I'll apologize to you on behalf of Qin Ji first. The engagement matter was handled very poorly by her, and it caused Shans to suffer public pressure as well. I'm sorry. I've heard your apology. Now let's talk about Jiguang. Jiguang still has a core team, loyal customers and production lines. The Qin family can give up some management control if Shun's provides a bridge loan first to stabilize wages and key fabric payments. A bridge loan is not a small personal loan. Jiguang's current brand reputation, financial gap, and management are all unstable. If Shun's enters, we must explain to the board of directors the risks and the recovery path. Mr. Shun, after so many years of friendship between you and Aji, do you really have to calculate every single thing so clearly? Mr. Xia, I've said it before. You are only here to observe today. I know business requires calculating accounts, but after so many years, the Shen and Qin families are more than just business partners. You and Aji also grew up together. Auntie Qin, if this is a private difficulty for the Qin family, within my capabilities, I will help out of respect for our elders. But Jiguang is not a private account. Jiguang's debts employees, suppliers, and investors, cannot be handled based on personal feelings. So Shun still won't invest. We won't invest unconditionally. Shuns will only follow project procedures to evaluate debt restructuring or acquisition plans. If the Qin family wants to continue talking, you must accept that management rights, valuation, and risk clauses will all be redefined. This is now an official entry point. I understand. Then let's talk based on the project. Mr. Qin, please send subsequent documents to the M&A team's email. We will arrange a list this afternoon. Mr. Xia, Zhiguang's price is low right now. But the debt is not light. Are you sure you want to increase your position? Small shareholders are in a hurry to leave, so the price can be pushed down. Zhiguang has a brand foundation, and Qin Zitong is back. If we don't take this window, once the news becomes clear, this price won't be available anymore. You're betting that someone else will take over later. I'm betting that Zhiguang won't stay rotten at this price forever. If Shen Jiheng really had no room for maneuver, he wouldn't have left the door open. Brother Lin, if this money goes in, you won't have much liquid cash left. If you don't buy at the bottom and wait for the market trend to change, you'll have to buy later. By then, the price will have doubled, and you'll have to cover the difference for me. This is short-term capital. The cost is not low. If you can't wait for the next round of investors, the pressure will be huge. As long as new capital enters Zhiguang, the shares in my hand won't be worthless. They are afraid of me now, which is why I have a chance. Aji, why haven't you rested yet? Mom and I are checking the supplier list. Where are you? I'm meeting with investors. Don't worry. I'm also trying to find ways to help Zhiguang. Don't overwork yourself. Share transfer letter of intent. Wait for my good news. Okay. Buy as many shares as you can get your hands on, especially from the small shareholders who are desperate to sell. Qin he finds out. Once I've made a profit, she'll only be grateful to me. Xia Lin bought 3 more batches of shares from small shareholders last night. He even used short-term capital. The price wasn't low, but he was in a real hurry to get them. Shenyi, that remark you made to Qin He yesterday about helping with personal difficulties, was that an intentional attempt to mislead Xia Lin? If he didn't have ulterior motives, he wouldn't have rushed into such a risk. What's his current situation? 3 batches totaling 7.8%. There are 2 more letters of intent unsigned. Once signed, he'll reach about 10%. And the funding? His personal liquid assets are basically tapped out. He also has a short-term loan, with interest starting in 3 days. Based on current valuations, he's already facing book losses. What about his buy-in price? It's lower than the small shareholders' target price, but higher than our risk-adjusted price. He's betting that once Shen's re-enters the market, the price will go up. Shen, what about the shares he holds? Should we arrange for someone to approach him? Norus. If Xia Lin decides to sell, it must be handled at the public market price and through standard compliance procedures. The M&A team will only track public equity changes. No private price coercion. And no misleading quotes. Understood. We only track public equity changes. We don't initiate quotes. The valuation model can continue to be updated. Technical restructuring, public sentiment depreciation, debt assumption and management risks. All of that needs to be factored in. Understood. We've known each other for so many years. If you're willing to come to me, I won't pretend I don't know about Jiguang's troubles. Jiguang's troubles. Uncle Shun, I'm not here to put you in a difficult position regarding Jiheng. I just wanted to ask you to help make an introduction. Even if it's not Shun's, could there be other investors willing to take a look? You know. Since I stepped down, I no longer have the final say on Shun's projects. Jiheng is handling things very steadily. I won't go over his head to change project decisions. Uncle Shun, it's not that Jiguang has no value. We can give up more shares. And we can accept stricter terms. Xiaoji value is one thing. But who is willing to take on the risk at this time is another matter entirely. Genie. Both investment firms just declined. They won't take the shares you're holding. Why? We've already lowered the price significantly. For one, they don't want to deal with Jiguang's current debt and public image issues. On the other hand, they all have projects with Shun's, and they don't want to go against Shun's judgment. Even at a low price, no one will take them. The most I can do is have someone pass your materials to a few old friends. But I can't guarantee they'll invest. And I won't vouch for them. So, in the end, you still have to go back to Shin Jiheng. It's not about going back to him. It's about going back to the rules. What you need right now isn't a favor. It's a plan that makes the outside world believe the risks are being managed. I understand. I'm sorry for bothering you today. Xiaoji, there are some costs that even your elders can't help you with. When it comes to projects, treat them as projects. Mr. Xie Shun's side has made no moves to buy at a high price. Jiguang's valuation is still being pushed down. These shares of yours, it's impossible. Shin Jiheng has already met with Qin Zitong. He will definitely make a move. Business is business. Since Shun's chose to divest from Jiguang initially, how could they be willing to buy now? Mr. Xie, your short-term loan starts accruing interest tomorrow. You'd better start preparing for repayment. Brother Lin, should we sell off a portion first? Even if it's a loss, at least we can get some cash back. Selling now is admitting I made the wrong bet. Shin Jiheng is just trying to drive the price down. I know. He must be waiting for AG to bow her head. What are these? I'm trying to find a way for you. Finding resources, negotiating shares, stabilizing shareholders. Don't all of these need money? You bought Jiguang's shares? Why didn't you tell me? I was afraid you'd feel pressured. Gee, now that we have shares, we have the leverage to talk to Shin Jiheng. Doesn't he value Jiguang highly? Then let him take what we have off our hands as well. Are you doing this to stabilize the company? Or to wait for him to buy us out at a high price? Are you doubting me now? I put all my money in for your sake. Yet you only speak up for Shen Jiheng. Ji, listen to me. Go see him one more time. Just tell him you really can't hold on anymore. That man, Shen Jiheng, is just waiting for you to admit you were wrong. He's not the type to watch you lose like this. I already saw Uncle Shen today. No one will go over Shen Jiheng's head for me. Then go beg Shen Jiheng yourself. You've known each other for so many years. He can't just ignore all that history, can he? How else can I beg him? Go to Shan's tomorrow. Don't talk about conditions, just admit you were wrong first. As long as he's willing to budge, Jiguang can still be saved. Shan, there's an MNAT meeting in 10 minutes. Qin, please go ahead. I know it looks bad for me to come to you now, but Jiguang really can't hold on anymore. Wages, material costs, channel ratings. Everything is dropping. The project team has already received this data. The issue isn't whether Shen's knows, but whether Jiguang has the capacity to handle the risks. Shen Jiheng, I was wrong. Whether it was the engagement, Xiaolin, or Jiguang, I handled all of it wrong. I used to think you were cold, that you were too calculating about everything. But now I know. If you don't calculate things clearly, it really leads to big problems. Qinji, if that's an apology. I've heard it. Then can you now, for the sake of the past, give Jiguang a way out? You don't have to help me unconditionally, even if it's just bringing the technical team back. Even if it's just a word of endorsement from Shin, I can't. First, the technical service contract has already been terminated. Second, Shen's will not provide new credit guarantees for Jiguang. Third, you are already married to Xiaolin. The personal relationship between you and me should have ended long ago. So, you won't even acknowledge a shred of personal history? Personal history cannot be converted into Shen's capital, technology, or channels. You can call me cold, but Shen's cannot use the name of an old flame to bail out Jiguang. So he wasn't waiting for me to bow my head. He really has closed the door. Shen, the M&A team is here. If the Qin family is willing to discuss debt restructuring or an acquisition, submit the materials according to project procedures. Personal pleas are no longer necessary. How did it go? What did he say? Can the technical team come back? Will Shen's provide funding first? No. He said everything must go through project procedures. Shen's won't bail us out in the name of an old flame. Is that all you came back with? Xiaolin, I begged for everything I could. I've already begged him for everything. Did you really beg? If you had really begged, how could he not have budged at all? Qingji, if you can't even win over Shen Jiheng, what else are you good for? Brother Lin, please calm down and go outside. Xiaolin, when you bought those shares, was it because you were waiting for the Shen Group to bail you out so you could sell them at a high price? What else? Did you really think I cared about your factories? Or your fabrics? What I wanted were Zhiguang's resources and Shen Jiheng's lingering feelings for you. Who knew you were so useless that you couldn't even leverage those feelings? Was that the only reason you got close to me? Don't act so high and mighty. Weren't you also looking for a man who would make you feel loved? Played the part, and you believed it. We were just using each other, that's all. You're shameless. If I were truly shameless, I'd be taking action against you right now. The only reason I haven't is to give you some final dignity. Qingji, starting today, we're getting a divorce. We'll do it tomorrow. Don't even think about dragging this out. I'll drag you down with me. Let go. Let go of me. Don't touch my things. So the passion I chose was never love at all, but a calculated scheme. Xinhe. Zhiguang's key fabric payment is due tomorrow. Channel ratings continue to slide. As for Xiaolin, interest on his short-term loan starts today. The shares he holds are already facing sell-off pressure. Zhiguang has no room left to keep burning cash. Do you mean we should enter formal negotiations now? We can discuss an acquisition. Then on my end, I'll contact Qin Zitong and Qin Ji. Send a formal invitation first. The reply will only state that the Shen Group is willing to resume project negotiations with no commitment to inject capital and no commitment to protect the Qin family's control. What about communicating with Zhiguang's shareholders? The M&A team should first approach the minority shareholders willing to exit. Price the shares according to the model. As for the shares Xiaolin holds, wait for him to release them voluntarily, then arrange for someone to buy them at a low price. Xinhe. Does Qingji need a separate heads-up? A heads-up about what? Xiaolin is under financial pressure, and he's likely to shift that pressure onto her. That's between her and Xiaolin. It's not within the Shen Group's scope of responsibility. Notify them. Tonight at 7 p.m. Meet at the Shen Group Project Conference Room. Understood. Qingji. The Shen Group is ready to resume formal negotiations. Tonight at 7 p.m. Please come to the Shen Group with Ms. Qin Zitong. Xinhe. I thought this step was primarily to acquire Xiaolin's shares at a low price. We've already arranged for third-party observation. An acquisition isn't just about buying assets. Xiaolin is too deeply tied to Zhiguang. If we don't investigate thoroughly, there will be risks later on. We can currently confirm 3 issues. First, Xiaolin's team used the Zhiguang account to drive traffic for personal business. Second, he bought shares from minority shareholders, while Zhiguang's public sentiment was declining. Third, Tang Jingshu's team provided evidence of financial transactions and materials used to smear the brand's reputation. But these still need verification. If these materials are made public, Zhiguang could be dragged down a second time. So, before the acquisition, we must clear up these potential risks. Xiaolin's personal actions must not continue to tarnish Zhiguang's brand value. But even if they announce their divorce, Xiaolin is unlikely to be willing to easily exit Zhiguang. Then contact Tang Jingshu's team. If she is the victim, the Shen Group can provide her with assistance. This time, are we still not notifying Qingji in advance? I said her personal relationship issues are not within the Shun Group's scope of responsibility. Continue verifying the materials. Assistance to Tang Jingshu's team is limited to the chain of facts and public boundaries. Don't let it affect tonight's acquisition negotiations. Understood. I will seal the materials pending verification separately, and they won't be included in tonight's meeting packet. For my part, tonight's negotiations will only cover acquisition terms and the bottom line offer. Fine. Xielin's issues go to risk control, and Jiguang's issues go to M&A. They shouldn't be mixed at the same table. The Shun Group's proposal has 3 parts. First, acquire Jiguang's core assets and brand. Second, assume key debts, prioritizing wages, core fabric payments, and essential suppliers. Third, retain the production lines and core team. What about the Qin family? The Qin family will relinquish actual operational control. Ms. Qin Zitong may retain a brand consultant position, but will not participate in budget, personnel, or channel decisions. This offer is much lower than the previous external valuation. The previous external valuation did not account for technical restructuring, public sentiment discounts, debt assumption, and management risk. Every day of continued consumption will be reflected in the price. This is my mother's life's work. You're basically taking it away at the lowest possible price. I'm not taking it away. I'm taking it on. I admit this price isn't pretty, but at least it can clear Jiguang's key debts, keep the production lines running, and keep the core team together. From a cash flow perspective, this is indeed the only plan currently that can simultaneously secure wages and fabric payments. If we don't sign, how much longer can Jiguang last? Based on today's accounts, we expect it won't last more than a week. Once the suppliers stop, the core payments will also be cut off. Mom, we can't just hand over Jiguang like this. Jiguang isn't just a table of control rights. With the current approach, as long as the people are still here, the lines are still here, and the brand is still alive, there's still a future. But this is what you worked so hard for most of your life. And it's also what you brought to this point today. The offer is valid until tomorrow noon. The Shun Group will not add private conditions, nor will we accept public opinion negotiations. Sign and Jiguang enters restructuring. Don't sign, and the Shun Group withdraws from this round of negotiations. We need time to consider. Fine. Give me your answer by tomorrow noon. Shenyi. Tang Jingshu's legal team has issued a statement claiming they have submitted materials to the platform in the court involving the financial disputes between her and Xielin, as well as the situation where Xielin's team allegedly manipulated public opinion to smear her. Jiguang has been dragged into this too. Partner brands have received risk notices, and the platform has suspended related business recommendations. The most urgent thing now is to sever the link between the personal controversy and the brand account. I've actually endured these things for a long time. Today, my legal team has already submitted the materials, and I will handle the follow-up through legal procedures. I just hope the controversy can be cleared up. Qinji, hurry up and have the brand department issue a statement. Just say these are all lies from Tang Jingshu to get revenge on me. Say she can't stand to see me doing well. Jiguang will not issue any more personal statements for you. Qinji, don't forget, we haven't officially completed the divorce procedures yet. If you don't help me now, Jiguang will be dragged down to death too. Jiguang has already been dragged down by you once. Did you forget who stood by you to fight against Shen Jiheng in the first place? You stood by me. But it was all just a scam. Mr. Xia, this is the Jiguang conference room. You have no operational authority here. Please leave. An email just came from a partner, demanding that we immediately terminate all visuals related to Xiaolin and all secondary distribution. The suppliers are also asking, are we still negotiating the Shen Group acquisition or not? Sever all ties with Xiaolin. Remove all related content. The brand statement should only state the facts. Jiguang will cooperate with the investigation. It was a personal action, not representing the brand. Mom. Shen Jiheng, you said Xiaolin was a risk factor back then. But I only thought you were trying to get back at me. Now you've finally seen it with your own eyes. The valuation for the Shen Group deal is indeed not great, but they are willing to take on the debt and keep the production lines running, and retain the core team. Besides, if we drag this out any longer, Jiguang, we might lose even this offer. What the suppliers are asking right now isn't whether we have passion, but who can pay them. What the distributors are asking isn't whether the Qin family can hold on, but who can bear the risk. The Shen Group isn't just bringing capital, but also their reputation in the industry. At the very least, it can help Jiguang suppress the credibility crisis. To be blunt, if we just talk about confidence now, the outside world will only think we're bluffing. Putting the Shen Group's name on the table is more effective than anything we could say. I know the current situation was caused by my own impulsiveness. I brought Xiaolin in, and I gave the green light for the youth line. If you want me to take responsibility, I accept it. Now, I am willing to take all my shares, put them on the table, and contribute to this rescue effort. I can also step down from the board and no longer participate in decision-making. Jiguang was built by my mother stitch by stitch, and it's something we've all supported together over the years. The outside world thinks we're falling apart, but as long as we stand together, we still have a chance to save it. I beg you all, for the sake of all these years of friendship, please stand by Jiguang one last time. Xiaosu, if you had said this 2 weeks ago, we might have been able to grit our teeth and hold on, but now, equipment payments, marketing spend, supplier accounts, the cash we could move, we've already moved. That's right. Last week, I just moved credit from another company. It's not that I don't want to help, but if I help anymore, my own business will run into trouble. So, you all prefer to accept the Shen Group's acquisition? At least it allows the brand to survive. Everyone, Shen He is here. It seems you've already discussed your exit strategy. Then let's move on and discuss the Shen Group's new proposal. The bidding window has closed. The Shen Group is only discussing equity acquisition today, not loans, nor temporary capital injections. Shareholders willing to exit can sign at the new price. Debt assumption and team retention will be executed as per the attachment. Wait, this price is wrong. Xiao, this isn't the figure Shen Group gave yesterday. It's even lower than last night. The deadline for a response is noon today. Currently, channels are suspended. Supplier risk clauses and public sentiment data have all been updated. The offer is based on these new risks, but it's only been half a day. And the price has dropped by half. It hasn't just been half a day. The third-party valuation model has been updated. Platform risk warnings, supplier legal notices, and channel suspension notices have all been factored into the risk discount. The property dispute between Xiaolin and Tang Jingshu, Jiguang's account traffic and related business risks are still pending verification, but the public risks are already enough to affect the offer. Legal and the board, the audit team has confirmed the Shen Group's current offer is based only on public risks, delivered notices, and mutually confirmed financial data. Unpublished, unverified personal dispute materials cannot be entered into the pricing model. How much is the Shen Group looking to acquire? The percentage required for actual controlling interest. The Shen Group can take on debt, guarantee wages, and protect production lines in the core team, but the Qin family must relinquish operational control. Ms. Qin Zitong can retain a brand consultant seat, but will not participate in budget, personnel, or channel decisions. And if we don't sign, By 5 p.m. today, suppliers require a new payment plan. The previous batches of fabric payments are already overdue. If the new season's fabric isn't paid for, they will cancel the reserved quota and transfer it to other clients. What's worse is that 2 suppliers have already sent legal notices. Once they apply for property preservation, counts inventory, and even goods in transit could be frozen. This price, we're taking a massive loss. There is one more item that needs to be synchronized. The Shin Group already holds a portion of Jiguang's shares. If this round is completed according to the plan, the voting control over Jiguang will be sufficient to cover the restructuring event. You already have shares in Jiguang? Only because we hold shares now. Do we have the qualification to talk to Shin Jiheng? Xiaolin, isn't it? I will only reiterate one point. There is no doubt that Jiguang is entering restructuring. Signing today means cutting losses at today's price. The next offer will only reflect an even lower asset value. The choice is yours. I agree to discuss the Shin Group's controlling interest provided that the production lines and core team are written into the guarantee clauses. Agreed. I agree. I agree as well. Shin Jiheng. Give me half an hour. I want to talk to you alone one last time. The last time. Xiao. I know it's too late to talk about anything now. But there are some things I must ask you myself. Half an hour, only to discuss the project and the outcome. Were you trying to get back at me from the very beginning? Divesting was to protect the Shin Group. The acquisition was to preserve the remaining value of Jiguang. You lost control. But the employees' production lines and brand remain. I used to think you were cold. When you asked about payment terms, I thought you were like a meeting. When you asked about risks, I thought you didn't know how to love. I wanted someone who could stand firmly by my side. So when Xiaolin said he loved me, I believed him. That was your choice. Since you chose it, I respect it. I know. In the past, I mistook passion for sincerity and mistook warnings for constraints. In the end, even Jiguang, which my mother created, was lost because of my own impulsive choices. I know everything is my fault. But after all, it is my mother's life's work. Can you not take away the Qin family's actual controlling interest? Promise. I won't be so impulsive again. Qinji, you are using Jiguang to pay for a lesson in growing up. The price is high. So now? You cannot let the employees, suppliers and shareholders pay for your regrets. That is a very irresponsible act. But once the actual controlling interest is handed over, the Qin family will truly lose Jiguang. Losing control is to let Jiguang continue to survive. If the Shin Group takes on the debt, guarantees wages, and protects the production lines, they must have the decision-making power. Otherwise, the risk remains where it was, and the restructuring is meaningless. I only know now how terribly wrong I was. But regret cannot pay off debts, nor can it withdraw legal notices. When adults make the wrong choice, there isn't always a regret pill to take. The day the marriage was announced, I warned you. Everything you said after walking out counts. It was your choice. Let the media shareholders and partners see your decision for themselves. What remains now is the result. So this is the price I have to pay. It was originally the Shin family's. Being able to keep the brand's production line and staff is already the limit of what I can offer. I understand. I'll sign the acquisition plan. Miss Chin, this past year you've worked in the supply chain, following fabric production and delivery, while completing courses in garment management and brand operations. With your current experience, you could easily apply for a brand consultant or a specialized management position. Are you sure you only want to stay in the brand operations department in a regular role? I'm sure. Coming back this time, I'm not here to be a decision maker. I want to start at the middle management level, learning again from the actual business. A regular role isn't easy. You'll have to track channels, inventory, and production schedules. The pressure will fall on you personally, and you won't receive any special treatment because of your former status. I don't need special treatment. I will do a good job. Shen-hee, do you need to participate in the final interview? Follow the standard procedure. A channel suddenly requests 2,000 pre-sale units, but production can only guarantee 800. How would you handle it? I would refuse to promise more than our confirmed capacity. If we can only sell 800, we only write down 800. Channel pressure can be negotiated, but brand credibility cannot be overdrawn. One last question. Why do you want to return to Jiguang? Because I owe it a sense of genuine responsibility. Not as an heir, but as an employee. HR will notify you of the hiring decision. There is a 3-month probation period. If you don't pass the assessment, you'll be let go as usual. I understand. This batch of data is fine. Tomorrow you'll join me for the channel review meeting. Remember to check the return reasons beforehand. Okay. Shin-hee. Yes. Ji-hung, if I hadn't called off the engagement back then, or had the flash marriage, and never brought Xia-lin into Jiguang, where would we be now? I don't know. You're still the same. You won't even lie to me, or give me a shred of hope. You've done well at Jiguang this year. But right now I'm not asking about work. I know. So is it too late for us? Qingji, not everything can be undone. Just because you regret it. So it's too late for us. Isn't it? Yeah. It's too late. Tomorrow, I will be at the channel review meeting on time. Good.